Greetings and salutations. So, we just rewatched Iron Man, and we're gonna talk about it. You hadn't seen Iron Man for a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen it for a long time.
Like, how long ago had you seen it?
I don't even know. Like, I watched that and I feel like I watched it for the first time.
Well, what did you think?
I liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was a good movie.
Still a good time?
Yeah, it's still a good time. It's always a good time.
Okay, you haven't seen all the Marvel movies, but you've seen a fair few.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you rank it amongst the Marvel movies?
That's really hard.
Oh, for fuck's sake, buddy. Above,
Top 5.
Okay,
Top
that's
5.
all I
There we
needed
go.
from you.
Top 5.
Do you want to go through and talk about the movie chronologically? Oh, my friends versus knowing what chronologically means. So, it starts with Tony in that van with the army?
Yeah, weren't they the Air Force?
Was it the Air Force?
I think it was the Air Force.
Okay. And Back in Black by AC/DC is playing, and immediately my brain went, oh, I love Led Zeppelin. And you don't understand why, even though you've seen Far From Home.
I have a bad memory.
Okay. Then you have Tony Stark's first ever peace sign. We love that. And you said you weren't a fan of his facial hair, as if he doesn't have the same facial hair.
Yeah, you know what?
For years.
It grew on me, okay? Yeah, but okay, so it's...
I still love just the moment where, you know, all the explosions are going off, they're being hit by missiles, and then one lands right next to Tony, and there's that zoom in on Stark Industries, and then his eyes just widen before it blows up. And then he gets hit by all the shrapnel, and you see all the blood coming through his shirt and stuff. I feel like he would have bled out from that, because we don't see his wounds being addressed until later on.
Yeah.
But he's losing a lot of blood really quickly.
I've personally never been hit by shrapnel, so I can't really comment.
I mean, neither have I, but he's bleeding so much.
Okay. Through a bulletproof vest, I guess.
Then it flashes back, and we see that little montage of, like, Tony Stark's life, and Howard Stark was played by a different actor, which I get, but I've just never noticed before that that's a different Howard Stark actor in all the photos, but that's fine. He doesn't have a speaking role until the next one, and then they consistently keep his actor, which is good. Yeah, Tony Stark's kind of an asshole at the beginning, but still love him. I don't really care. He's funny, and that's all I care about, and I can't not love Tony Stark. My brain is wired to just love Tony Stark at all costs. The best line of the film is still, I do whatever Mr. Stark requires, which includes occasionally taking out the trash.
Yeah, that was like a plot twist.
That was the best.
So
That's
funny.
still the best thing Pepper's ever said, to be fucking
when
honest.
you were like, this is my favourite part, like, favourite thing, I was like, why? Like, it's like making her seem like she's just like nothing. But then she said that, I was like,
Pepper's hair is so much more ginger in this movie. Like, it's so much more strawberry blonde, because it just turns into blonde later on. It gets, like, blonder per movie until it's just blonde.
it's like you.
She used to be a ginger.
I am a ginger.
No, I'm a ginger, yeah. You got mad at me when I first went ginger.
Yeah, because I was a ginger. I was the only one, and then you became the good-looking ginger.
I didn't become the good-looking ginger.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Nah, I'm done.
Like, yeah, the clothes in this movie, like, every unnamed female character is wearing the most 2008 clothes I've ever seen in my life.
They were wearing work uniforms.
No, not... Weren't they? I mean, like, when he's, like, playing, like... I don't know what that game is where you throw the dice and if it lands on the right
Something
number.
about gambling.
Yeah, it's a gambling game, but, like, all the women around him, he's, like, surrounded by women, and they're all wearing the most 2008 clothes I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't pay much attention to stuff.
You really didn't pay much attention to this movie at all. Gwyneth Paltrow and Robert Downey Jr. have, like, really good chemistry. Like, from their first scene.
That's why I want to watch the second one, because, like, I just want to, they were really cute.
When they actually get together. I said this while watching the movie, and want to repeat it again. Objectively, the strongest Avengers are, like, Thor and Wanda and Carol, obviously, because they have, like, actual, like, magical abilities, low-key. But I think the strongest Avenger, in terms of resilience and stuff, is Tony. Like, no one else went through a fucking, like, being held hostage by terrorists. That's pretty traumatic. And then from that moment on, everything he did was just to help people and to save people. Like, he fucking went into space to get a missile out of New York. He snapped his fingers with the Infinity Stones, and I know that he knew it was the only way to save everyone, but, like, he didn't hesitate to do it once he knew. Like, Cap's all good and mighty or whatever, but, like, I just feel like Tony Stark.
I hate Cap. I don't hate him. I don't hate him, I just don't like him.
Okay, thank you. I love Steve. we just ignore
I think
what
Tony's
happens
better.
at the end of Endgame. I used to be like a Steve Warrior.
You did. I remember.
Yeah.
Civil War.
Civil War. I still agree more with
Nah.
Steve's actions in Civil War.
Nah.
Also, it's kind of fucked up that Tony does bring a 14-year-old into this battle with like.
I'd honestly be like, go to school, tell your friends, have fun. I'd want to be that 14-year-old.
Peter doesn't tell anyone. No, he tells Ned
What a
eventually.
loser.
Fuck you.
I'd tell everyone. I'd be like, oh,
He doesn't want people to know he's Spider-Man, Brady.
what a loser.
He doesn't want to put his friends and the people he cares about in danger.
I would. No, I'm joking.
In the Iron Man 3, where someone's threatening him and he just goes on live TV and tells everyone his address and it's like, come on, don't. That'd be you.
No,
And then Pepper's like, I'm leaving this house. And Tony's like, no, you're not. And Pepper's like, I'm fucking leaving.
Nah.
That'd be you.
Yeah, no, literally, I'd be like, my friends are this, that. They live here.
You know how Mysterio like tricks Peter into telling him all his friends who know? You'd be the worst with that. You wouldn't even have to make an illusion. He'd just be Mysterio and be like, who'd you tell about me? And you'd be like,
I'd be like, damn, dude, okay.
I've already forgotten the name of the dude in the cave with Tony, but I love him. But he's like, I'll see my family soon, and then he's like dying, and Tony's like, you gotta go meet your family, and he's like, my family are dead. Sorry, you monster. And he's like, I'm meeting them now, and he's like, I want this, and Tony's like, okay. And then he's like, don't waste your life, Tony, don't waste it. And he doesn't waste Brady.
He doesn't, because there's 23 more movies.
No, okay, we were talking about this. Why the fuck does the arc reactor have a light?
Yeah, why does it have a light?
I feel like that's
so extra.
That's not necessary to
Yeah.
have. I'm also gonna.
You gonna say?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
you better say.
I'm gonna tell everyone. So I used to think that shut the fuck up. That Tony cut holes out of his shirts for the arc reactor, and that's why you could see the lights. This is unnecessary.
Do you notice how there's no holes in my top?
Look.
Do you notice? And here, I'll do it in
I'm-
the really
Shut
the
fuck
opaque
up.
place.
Shut the
Oh my god! Wait, you still can see it.
I hate you so much.
You can probably see it
Because,
through my trackies.
No, there are some shirts where you can't see it through. Like there's a button up right when he gets back and you can't see it through it. So I thought he was cutting holes out of his shirts to show this lie. And the fuckery of it all is he didn't realise he didn't do that until this year.
You're an idiot. Don't you think they would have commented on it? Why do you cut all these holes? Tony, why don't you cut the holes?
Maybe it was a sensitive issue and he didn't want to bring it up.
But you'd think somebody at one stage, like Happy, would be like, why do you cut holes here? And like he'd just be like, I don't want to talk about it. You'd think something like that would happen, Ashlee.
Don't. I hate when you talk logic to me.
Never introduced me.
Oh, this is Bridie. Do you want to plug your social media or no?
Oh yeah!
Okay, go off.
My BSB and account number. My Instagram is bridie.e, so BRIDIE .e.
She wants to be TikTok famous. Go follow her TikTok.
Actually, yes, go follow my TikTok. So it's Bridie Bert. So Bridie and then BERT.
I'll write it in the description as well.
Yes, follow me on TikTok.
So when Tony was leaving the cave and he's making his way out and he's just in all that fire in the suit. Yeah.
It'd be such a good detox, like a sweat detox, like all those toxic things out of the body.
Also, I just want to say that I love Happy Hogan a lot. He's not in this film really at all, but I respect Jon Favreau for giving himself the tiniest part, which then, you know, became a fucking lead role in the Spider-Man movies. But I respect it. I love you, Jon Favreau. I love you, Happy Hogan. Oh my god, no, I saw a tweet today that was like, because Spider-Man's back in the MCU now, I bet Happy Hogan will be the next father figure to die. And I really don't want that to happen.
No, but that's not,
But
it's
he's
crazy.
becoming the next father figure.
It's
though,
crazy that
so.
he's back in the MCU though, to be honest.
I'm so happy.
No, that is
you don't
really
understand
cool.
how happy I am.
No,
like
it's
I was
really good, but like when you sent that, I was like, oh my god, like he's back in it, because it wouldn't have made sense otherwise.
No, it wouldn't have. It would have been.
It would have been like.
Here's the thing. Even if they just do the two movies, the two movies in this contract in the MCU now, and they don't extend it past that, they can then have Peter go on and just do Sony movies and have that make sense because they can now wrap up those MCU storylines. So they've at least given that opportunity to, they can finish this story and then have him go on and just exist in the Sony universe and have that make a lot more sense. Especially because of the Far From Home end credit scene, that wouldn't have worked. That wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
And because he's still grieving Tony so much, wouldn't have fucking worked. The fucking character progression that Tony Stark has in this movie, like the character arc, it's the best out of any solo film. Yeah. I genuinely believe it is. He has the best arc overall, all the films, obviously. But I think just even in this movie, this is the biggest character arc that someone has in one film. I think maybe if we're talking about big character arcs, I guess Steve in The Winter Soldier and like Peter in Far From Home are quite large character arcs too, but I feel like this is just takes the cake. Something I think that isn't great in this movie is Jeff Bridges. No, Jeff Bridges is great. His performance is great.
You can never trust a bald man. They're all evil.
He's great as Obadiah, but it's like, and this is a problem that, like, just a lot of early Marvel movies have with their villains are just garbage. He puts on this robot suit and just becomes so fucking evil. Like, he's just gonna crush this family in a car. He's just gonna murder Pepper.
Yeah, there wasn't really any, like, build-up towards it.
No, he's just kind
of... like, made the suit.
He just kind of is selfish and wants to own Stark Industries. And then he becomes evil. And a lot of early Marvel movies have this issue, but it's an issue that we need to talk about. But I think that's really the only issue I have in this film. I really like this movie. I think Jon Favreau did a great job directing it. I think Robert Downey Jr. is fucking incredible. Gwyneth Paltrow is great. It's something I really miss with Marvel movies, and I get why we don't have it anymore, because they'd be tired of seeing it at this point. But, like, scenes of people building the suits and, like, testing it out, I find them so fun, I find them so charming, and I feel like that has such a bigger payoff when they finally do get in the suit. Once, like, when Tony's, you know, making it, and the first try when he flies, he just goes straight into that fucking wall.
And now he has a hole in his house.
And he doesn't fix it.
Does
he fix it before Iron Man 2? That's a question I want answered. We'll figure that out.
Next time.
By the way, we're doing this now once a week where we'll watch each film from the MCU and talk about them. The scene with Tony and Pepper dancing is still really fucking cute.
Oh yeah, no, that's adorable.
Like, it's still really cute, and I like that they don't have them get together in this film. They have this little moment. They have these moments where, like, you can obviously see there's an attraction there, there are feelings there. You have that moment with Tony being like, I don't have anyone but you. Like, you have that quote, you have that layers there, but they don't have them get together immediately, and I like that. I also do like that, you know, he leaves her on the roof, but he's not doing it because he's a jerk. He's doing it because he gets his whole fucking world turned upside down, because this man who he's trusted his whole life, he finds out that he's, you know, selling weapons against his wishes, and he's pretty preoccupied with that information, but then later on, when he tries to then make a move on Pepper, she calls him out for leaving her on the roof by herself. Enjoy that.
Yeah. No, they're cute.
The scene of Tony flying for the first time, like actually going out into the world and using the Iron Man suit for the first time, that makes me so happy.
No, when he nearly hits that floor, my heart sunk.
It's just so good. Like, you get like exhilarated watching it. I don't know. I think it's so good. I think it's so effective. I love that, you know, you have him seeing how far he can go and then figuring out that he has the icing issue, and then, you know, that's obviously called back later on when he's battling Obadiah. It's Phil Coulson. Seeing Phil Coulson, I miss Coulson so much. And to be honest, I don't fucking care about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon, and I just feel like in MCU canon, he's dead. Because I feel like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't really canon at this point. You got real stressed out watching Pepper downloading the files.
Yeah, no, that terrified me.
When he just shows up in the doorway.
No, because that just, like, I don't know, that just reminded me of being a little shit growing up. Yeah, no, that part terrified me, because I was like, she's gonna get caught. Yeah, but I was scared what he was gonna do to her.
When he was pouring a drink, she was like, just run.
Yeah, no, he was just taking his sweet ass time, like, pouring a drink. I was like, you know what, I'd have downloaded that shit and ran.
She left, like, as soon as it finished downloading.
Yeah, no, good job. Good on her.
And then she gets Phil to walk with her, so she's not alone, so we can't target her.
Yeah.
She was smart about it.
She was smart about it.
So in the scene where Tony's like, how big are your hands to Pepper? So before she, like, helps him with the arc reactor, I've come to the conclusion that I would kill Tony because I have real little hands. I'm just gonna skip over fucking everything. The scene with Tony saying that he finally understands what he needs to do, and that's why he's gonna risk his life and go in the Iron Man suit to stop Obadiah. That makes me cry. I love you, Tony. You are the true definition of a hero. Thank you for existing. I miss you so much. Pepper saying, you're all I've got too, makes me sad, because I mean, like, she has Morgan now, but, like, you know.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Stark. The daughter.
Oh. I thought you meant Patrick.
Nick Fury. By the way, that's Samuel L. Jackson. The ending of this movie with Tony, it's fun. I like that they give Pepper something to do in this final battle. It's a bit over dramatic with Tony being like, "You'll do it, you'll die, just do it." Like,
I'm sorry, she should have gotten cut. Something.
Oh yeah, she should have gotten cut from all that glass that was falling down onto her when Obadiah was just fucking shooting Tony.
You'd think it would like break in like thicker pieces. Like she could have been sliced in half.
She could have, Final Destination style. But I like that. I like that in the ending of this movie, right before the press conference, they have that thing being like, no one's gonna believe that he's my bodyguard, because like, just the scene, the bit where he just looks directly into camera and goes, the truth is, I am Iron Man, and all the press people jump up. That's just, oh, I get goosebumps every time. That's so good. That's so fucking good. That's so fucking good. And then you have the end credit scene with Nick Fury, which is so cool because this is the first Marvel movie. They did not know if they could even do the Avengers at this point, but they put in this Easter egg just in case it was going to work, and it did, and it became the biggest thing.
It's actually crazy
ever.
how big it became.
In the span of 11 years, it's become a literal phenomenon, a literal cultural phenomenon,
Yeah.
and that's...
Well, it's like one of the biggest, like...
It's crazy. Well, Endgame is the highest grossing film of all time. Fuck you, Avatar. I said this to my mum the other day. I feel like the MCU is the Star Wars of our generation.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Star Wars is still very popular in our generation, but what Star Wars was in the 80s is what the MCU is now.
I never got into Star Wars.
I like Star Wars. If you're ranking Iron Man out of 10, what would you give it?
10. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10.
What the fuck?
I have some issues with evil giant Jeff Bridges.
True, but like, Tony just makes up for that.
He does.
He's just a gorgeous
He does.
human
8 out of
being.
10 is a very good score for me. Because I'm picky. And you know I'm picky about movies.
Yeah, but you like La La Land, so... I'm joking.
That was this. It was a mess, but it's fine. We might get better at this as we go along. We're watching The Incredible Hulk next week. I'm not excited, but that'll be a thing that happens.
I think it's gonna be fun.
We're gonna probably talk a lot of shit about The Incredible Hulk, as we should.
I think it'll be fun.
It probably will be.
It'll be a fun experience.
But I'm gonna take the piss out of The Incredible Hulk, because I don't like The Incredible Hulk.
We opened the Skittles.
We were eating the Skittles that are usually there. Okay, thank you very, very much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you very soon. Mwah!